Hi, developers. This is Martin from Tatum, and joining me today, Sebastiano Cataudo. He's a CTO and founder of the Scrypta Foundation. He's someone who's been quite heavily involved in the blockchain space. Hi, Seb, and welcome.
Hi, thank you, Tatum, and everyone.
No worries. Seb, can you just tell us a little bit about your background, where you're coming from, and the Scrypta Foundation? How did it all came about?
Sure, of course. As you said, I'm a developer. I'm a developer from when I was young because my father is a developer too, and I just born as a developer. I started coding at 5 years old or something like that, and I studied for that, and then I moved to Berlin in 2015, and I started working with a lot of startups in the I don't know web space in Berlin with two guys. It was very interesting, but at some point I found the blockchain. And I started to study the blockchain, how it was created, why it was created, and I started obviously with mining, and I just decided in 2016 to move again in Sicily. I'm Italian, and I found another small group of people that actually, they are co-founders with me in Scrypta Foundation, and we started to create conferences, talk with people about blockchain, about Bitcoin, about Ethereum, and blah blah. At some point, we just decided to create our own project. Basically, this is how we started.
You've basically developed your own blockchain, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, yeah. Of course. We created our blockchain. I think it's the base of what we've done with the Scrypta, because we use the blockchain as our first level. Scrypta created a lot of tools that allow developers to create their own real use case applications. Like Scrypta blockchain card is NFC and QR code card. We created this kind of payment processor for municipalities, and it was very used during the COVID period, and now it's used too. So there are a lot of small stores that accept their own local token currency. Okay. Yes,
that's really cool.
It's very great, because the people that use social pay, they really don't know that they are using the blockchain. They are just using their cards, and I don't know. I think I want one of their cards here. They use their card, scan the card with the QR code, insert their PIN, and then just pay for the stuff, for the goods, in the supermarket or in the bakery, and blah blah. Yes, it's very cool. This is one of the things we want to create with Scrypta. So real use cases with simple tools, and with simple tools even for developers and for the users.
How many users does Social Pay have now?
I don't know. I think there are 10,000, something like that. We have 2 active cities. The interesting thing is that it's all transparent, of course, because it's blockchain, and and for the city was for the administration was very important, because they just demonstrate that all the operation of the money was very transparent. And here in Sicily is something that it's more valuable. It's very valuable because as you said, in Sicily there's a lot of mafia, and there's a lot of obscure stuff. So a tool like the blockchain is very important for us, because we put all the information to the public, and then no one can say, oh no, you are doing something wrong, or you are doing something that is not allowed, because it's all public. And I think this is one of our biggest or interesting use cases.
I'm really excited about this. So you're really bridging the gap and trying to bring transparency into the payment system through the
Yes.
blockchain, through your own blockchain technology, and trying to help the government and help the local community in that way. That's
Yes.
really exciting. And just a question regarding why why did you decide to develop your own blockchain? What was the motivation behind it? Was it those things that we discussed, or was there
Yes, I think I have two different answers for this. First one is because I'm a developer, and as a developer, I think we like to reach new goals in our lives. So it was very exciting for me start a project like this. And for the second, from the second this part is because I started using Ethereum. Using a smart contract can be very useful, but if you want to create something that is bigger than a single smart contract, you have to develop a lot of stuff, even if you are using a blockchain part. So we just decided to move into our blockchain, and this blockchain Scrypta is Bitcoin based. In effect, it's a PVX, so we don't have native smart contracts. So we started using the blockchain in in a simple way by pushing information inside the transactions, and then we started with these small pieces of development, and all the things we done. Is to create a flat fee blockchain, because you spend just 0.001 lira, which is our currency, lira for transaction. So it's a flat fee based transaction blockchain. And then this is one of the first important things we've done, because with Ethereum, and I think it's one of the thing that we know at the moment, because Ethereum fees are very high, fees are very important. So we started thinking about a flat fee, because we want to create a project that have to be sustainable by itself.
Could we get a little bit deeper about how was the whole journey of the development? Was there any issues were there any issues that you encountered, or was it pretty smooth, or was it just harder than you thought? And is there something you would do better this time?
Okay. The first part was the hardest part was to create a network, because I found another two guys helped me to create the first part of the blockchain, because I've never done a Genesis block. So the hardest part was find here close to me people that knows about how create a blockchain. We forked the VIX, and so we didn't started from zero, from the ground. So we forked another blockchain, which is PVX. It's a proof of stake and masternode blockchain. So we forked that blockchain, and they happened a lot at the beginning, because create our true decentralized blockchain, it's something that requires a lot of people, because we need a lot of people that maintain nodes, and it's not quite simple to find people that knows how to do that, and blah, blah. So the first part of our work was to create a lot of guides. We created a service to simply create master nodes, because master nodes are one of the two parts of our system, and I think this is the hardest part. We created different I don't know, parsing nodes. We could call them IDA nodes. These are the specific softwares that read the blockchain and then create a local version in with MongoDB, a local version of the blockchain, and parses all the information that we put inside the blockchain. The second part was to create this kind of nodes that allowed us to read and write the blockchain. I think this is one of Tatum have done very well, because Tatum allow other people to read and write into multiple blockchains. If I have to start, I should start today. I will never create a new blockchain. I think I will use a service like Tatum, because in effect it allows you to send the same things I've done with my own tools.
When it comes to kind of summarizing it up into one recommendation for any blockchain developer who might be getting into the space, what would you give? What advice would you give them?
Yes, first advice is to read the documentation, because it seems a stupid thing to say, but a lot of developers just want to start coding, and no, you have to read the documentation first. So blockchain is one of the hardest thing I learned as a developer, because you have to know about cryptography, networking. You have to understand how peer-to-peer works. You have to understand how the blockchain itself works. How you have to synchronize all the nodes on all the people, because it's not a simple server that accept or give information. It's a complex network, and you have to study a lot before start developing things. If you want to be a blockchain developer.
Thanks, Seb, for summing it up into this piece of advice. And when it comes to the blockchain ecosystem and the technology, going forward, the trends, where do you see blockchain heading? Where do you see some applications of it, in the years?
Yes. If we watch the entire ecosystem, I think we are moving into the NFTs, or into the decentralization of physical stuff. So now we are creating NFT with the kitties, or with art, or with something very simple. But I think that one day we'll create NFTs for buildings, for fields, for entire cities. So because the same technology we can use for creating a unique digital twin of a small thing. We can create the same digital twin for other more complex things. So I think the real estate will use the blockchain even more. And I hope even a lot of other states will use technology like we have done with Sicily, because there are a lot of stuff that can be done for the people with blockchain.
One more question, which would be the last question, Steph. In just one word, what is Tatum for you?
I think that Tatum is a partner, because it was a very incredible discovery for me, because as I said, I work a lot with open source projects, and I really love open source. And sometimes it's very hard to find someone like I don't know. I found Samuel, and we talked a lot during this month. It was incredible how Tatum was really open to work with other developers, and I think it's one of the coolest thing. Tatum, and yes, for me, he's a partner, a technological partner, because we are creating other tools and other things that can work with Tatum, and our network of companies will use Tatum instead of create their own infrastructure. So for Scrypta is really a partner.
Yeah, we're also really excited about the new partnership. How quickly we were able to integrate crypto chain into our ecosystem and roll out this cooperation. It's been really great.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Seb, for joining today.
Thank you.
It was really awesome hearing from you, seeing where in your eyes blockchain might be heading, and really talking about the practical aspects of developing your own blockchain, which you did. And
thank you too. Thank you, Tatum, for the support.
And for all of you watching, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, like if you enjoy this video, put a comment, we'll answer that. We also got a Reddit group which you can join. The link will be in the description, so feel free to access that. And stay awesome, enjoy, and happy coding.